Welcome to Season 4 of Soccer Over Gotham, an NWSL podcast covering New Jersey, New York, Gotham FC, hosted by Ruby Pinto and produced by Gary Gibson. Welcome to episode 109 of Soccer Over Gotham, Sweep of Angel City edition. We have a great show for all of you. Gary, what do we have in this episode?
A dominant first half with 2 goals, and Gotham FC leaves LA with all 3 points. Midge Purce is up for an ESPY, which is awesome. Gotham is having the best start in franchise history. Yael Averbuch put out a thoughtful post today. We will discuss that and all the positives going around this club. We will break down this game as only we can, as Gotham, as you said, completes the season sweep of Gotham C, Angel City, and we'll discuss whether it was a penalty or not. Then we will discuss, we'll just look forward at both the Summer Cup and the Olympics. There's a lot to talk about. So Ruby, how are you?
Hey, Gary. So I'm doing great. And I just wanted to tell you, I listened to part of the interview with Jenna Nicewonger, and you guys got to go and listen to this interview. It's so good. And you ask her some questions, and you mentioned Shakira in there, what she's listening to. Unfortunately, she's not listening to Shakira. But I'm also glad you mentioned Shakira.
Yeah, we're listening to Shakira, but she's not.
Yeah. Man, I need to make a petition for Gotham to let us do interviews after 5 so I can join.
Yes, indeed. So Ruby, the WNBA is craziness. So the Liberty played at 11 a.m. today. 11 a.m.
Your tweet, I was like, is there really a game at this time? That's crazy.
Arena was packed.
Wow.
Like, what are these people doing on a Wednesday? But I guess if Gotham had a game at 11 o'clock, I'd probably be there. I'd probably take off work and go there. But they also play Chicago tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Then they come back home against Chicago at 1 p.m. on Saturday. That's crazy scheduling.
That is a crazy schedule.
Yes. And today is the 25th anniversary of the 99ers winning the championship.
Do you remember what you were doing?
I do not. That whole section of my life was a blur. So
right, I was trying to think, like, how old am I in 1999? I was like 8 going to 9 years old. So I was like, I don't remember. I was probably outside playing. I don't know. I wish I had like this great picture, like people are posting, like I was there. But anyway.
I'm not gonna tell you what I was doing, so it gives away my age. But let's talk about some of the news on the team, which is Midge Purce is up for ESPY Thursday, July 11th for best championship performance. What are your thoughts, Ruby?
I think that's really awesome, and hopefully she wins. Mm-hmm. She was like a major key for Gotham at the championship game. I mean, with that assist and everything that she did in that game, it was just incredible. We're sending her all the good vibes. And since we're talking about Midge Purce, if you guys are in New Jersey or live close to New Jersey, you should go see Midge Purce this Friday at the 2024 USA, I think that's what it's called, a street soccer tournament for youth and adults. Midge Purce will be there to hang out and sign some autographs. So that's cool.
That is very, very cool. And speaking of the Jenna Nicewonger interview, she talks about how good it was to have somebody like Midge pushing the team to the end and how calm she was and composed she was during that game. She was in the zone. So it's again, good interview. Go check it out. And I think about this randomly, but I'm always like, can you imagine this team as it is, but just add Midge Purce to it? Like, how crazy would that be?
Exactly.
We miss her so much.
We do. We only got her for like a couple games.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, such a shame. Yeah. But, fans, thank you all for tuning into this podcast and being part of this show. Obviously, I set out for this thing to be more than just a podcast. When we first started, the fans had like no real voice in a way. So they either were yelling at the supporter group or yelling at an intern on social media for Gotham, who was probably not going to be there in a week or two. But so I wanted to set out a thing where we could hear the fans' voices, get them involved in polls, and get them talking online and building friendships and building a community around this team. And I think we've accomplished that to a point, and I'm very proud of that. So I just want to thank you guys for helping us out and jumping on our Twitter page, jumping on our Instagram, and you can find us on Over Gotham Pod on Twitter. That's where most of the fan polls are, and you can watch everything that Ruby does on Instagram with the stories and the news and all that stuff. She's a real big deep dive. So follow us there. It's going to be Soccer Over Gotham on Instagram and Threads. From there. Speaking of Instagram, Ruby, I got to bone the pick. So we, for the third time in 4 tries, we have won the Twitter poll for Goal of the Week, but we lost on Instagram due to some phony votes. I'm still on my kick about that. I still think it's fake.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, honestly. Like, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, a Gotham player on Twitter won. So I was like, all right, that's it. Why are we like posting someone else as the winner? And someone told me there's an Instagram poll as well, and they combined the votes. And I was like, really? I didn't see anything on Instagram, but whatever.
Yeah, we need
I'll pay attention next week or the following, whenever they're back.
So that's what we need to do. We need to build up our army over there on Instagram. So follow us, Soccer Over Gotham, and get us there. And then when you click on the goal post, below it, it's like you have to pick the heart for liking the person underneath it. That's their poll. It's really weird. Yeah, still mad about that. So, Ruby, this is the best start in franchise history, and we're going into the break. We are matching 31 points from last season, which is pretty crazy, and we're 1 win away from franchise record 10 wins of the season. This morning, Yael Averbuch West put out a post on Twitter. It might be on Instagram as well, but who knows? It says a little reflection now that we've reached a break in the NWSL season. First of all, kudos to the teams at the top of the table. What Orlando and Kansas City are doing has been particularly well. And then it's just really impressive. But for Gotham, she says, I'm very proud of Gotham. Heading into this 2023 was a develop clear style of play and a methodology to build upon. And of course, we ended last year on a high, but we also recognized that we had a lot of room to grow and needed to be more consistent throughout the year. It's just at the halfway point of this season, we're the only team that made last year's playoffs that averaged over 2 points per game right now. We've now tied our points total from last year. Of course, we want to be at the top of the table, but our main focus is on constant improvement year over year, month over month, day by day. And our players, coaches, staff have worked incredibly hard to continue that progress. There's a long road ahead, and my mind spends 90% of its energy focusing on the work to do. But right now, I also wanted to zoom out and recognize the bigger picture. She's grateful for the support of the owners and for everyone who has joined us on this journey in the front office, on the field, and in the stands. We keep moving. Your thoughts, Ruby?
Yeah, that's incredible. All the things that Yael has been able to do with Gotham. Honestly, like since she took over, she gave Gotham a new identity. The culture changed at Gotham. We've seen them going from last place to first place last year. And yes, like she says, we're not on top of the table right now. But if you look all like the journey, it's a lot. They've done a lot, and being fourth on the table right now, it's a big deal right now.
She got a lot of things right, especially last season. This was a rebuild of a roster with a new coach, and she's been hitting home runs on all the players that she's brought in. Brought back Sheehan, brought in Martin, Yasmin Ryan came over, and those 3 became the bedrock of this team going to that championship. We dealt with injuries last season, a lot of other things that were thrown our way, from the crazy weather and the smoke and stuff that went over the stadium, and they still fought through and did that. And good on her for not being complacent and jumping at the chance of bringing in bigger players. And their scouting has been on point. Every player they brought in, whether it was Stengel last season or Stevens this season, has been amazing. And they just plug right in and they're just awesome. And they fit a specific role on this team. And this year, going in with all the injuries that we've had, managing the minutes, player rotation that we've had on the field, we're getting to a point where our players are starting to get healthy again. We're sending them off to the Olympics, and just home runs all around. And it's just such a great direction to be in. This is the first second. Well, it's really positive, the direction of this team, and I'm just really happy we get to cover it.
Yeah, that's true. And, considering all the injuries this year as
Mhm.
well, I think we're in a good place. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, definitely could have been a lot worse, but good on them. The depth has been amazing, and players are stepping up when they need to, especially like players like
Hmm.
Freeman, who's been awesome. We'll definitely talk about her as well. But getting over to this game, after winning 7 of 8, Gotham has gone into a bit of a lull heading into the Olympic break. A 2-0 loss to Washington and a 1-1 draw to Seattle. And Gotham is just trying to send their Olympians off on a high note and some positive vibes. Angel City, on the other hand, won just once since May, and nearly a month ago they lost to Gotham 2-1. Dunn and Lavelle were the goal scorers in that game. City has not scored in 2 matches. The availability report is getting smaller. We added Taryn Torres this week, so we had Esther, Kelly O'Hara, and Taryn Torres out for injuries. But other than that, pretty healthy squad. And we jump into the lineup. Burgers in goal. Freeman seems to be locking herself down as the right back on this team. We have Sonnet and Davidson. The fans vote for who they wanted to see as a center back pairing. Nice swanger. And then this was more of a 4-4-2. So the midfield was Ryan, Sheehan, Dunn, and Martin. And then up top it was Lavelle and Stevens. Ruby, thoughts on the injury list or the lineup?
Well, I'm so glad this injury list is getting smaller,
Mm-hmm.
but hopefully it doesn't go the other way around because it feels like once we get like a healthy player, then we get another like out for some reason. So hopefully it's not like a step forward and 2 step back.
Mm-hmm.
But a notable change here in this lineup this week is we have Neely instead of Maitane, and then Ryan is back in the starting 11 after getting that red card and having to miss 1 game.
Yes, and the fans are always right. Sonnet and Davidson has been an amazing pairing, even though the other ones have been good too. But this one's been specifically pretty good.
Yeah, so who do you think they're gonna play now, like during the Olympic break?
I think it's my Tiny and Hyatt. I think
I
there's,
yeah.
yeah, sure. Now, this was a slow first 15 minutes of the game. And then I think the advantage for Gotham comes in the middle of the field. And said that they're set up on more in a 4-4-2 with more of a diamond midfield. And against Angel City's 3 midfielders that haven't played together before, it was our natural overload. And we just had more space and better spacing than they did. There was always going to be an overload at certain points of the midfield. Then let's just talk about the goals. Then this is everything that makes Gotham Gotham. The high recovery from Sheehan, Neely's quick vertical entry pass, the one-touch diagonal passing from Stevens to Dunn, back to Lavelle, cutting centrally, cutting right through the defensive lines, and just an incredible 2-touch finish from Rose to the far post. Almost too easy.
Yeah, that was just art. That was just art, that whole sequence right there. It was such a beautiful sequence of passing the ball. And then big shout out to LaBelle for such a great finish and gives Gotham the lead. This is when I was getting a little nervous because I didn't want what happened to them last week where, the opponent equalized. It was our own goal, but still they were able to equalize in the game in the last minute. So I in my head I was like, Gotham needs to get at least 1 or 2 goals to just secure those 3 points.
The way that was set up with the diamond midfield, they went right around the defensive midfielders, right through the middle of the center backs. It was beautiful. It's exactly how you draw it up on paper. Like this
Mm.
is exactly where you wanted to
Yeah,
go.
like exact.
It was beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. Then we have an iconic goal celebration, and this is another Gotham goal. A high turnover from a throw-in from Sheehan. And then Ryan finds Lavelle, whose vertical entry pass goes right to Stevens, who's behind the back line. And then no look pass to Sheehan, who calmly finishes just at.
Yeah,
Do you want to
that
talk
was
about that
amazing.
celebration?
Oh my god, that was amazing. Again, here we have Stevens being a little selfless out there on the field, and she sees that Shihan is like wide open, and she passes the ball to her, and she was right in front of goal. Nobody marking her, nobody on her. Just that. If that wasn't a goal, like I don't know, I would have like I don't know what I would have done because as I have said before, like like Sheehan is a great player passing and like keeping the ball. She's like she's so strong and she like doesn't give up and she goes after the ball a lot. But she's not a scorer. So she finally got this goal. I saw you tweeted at me, Gary. I was like, Sheehan is a scorer now. But yeah, I mean, the ball was literally served in a like gold platter for her just to like tap it in, and it was just great. But that celebration, I think it was even better. Like she just like turned around and like kept running, looking the other way, like she knew that was gonna go in. So I love her, and I love that swag that Ella has right now. Her confidence is like at a 10, and I love it.
Yeah, her just looking the other way, looking up at the big screen, and just
Mm-hmm.
not even looking back. That was a 0.9. It was 0.9 expected goals on that goal. So 9 times out of 10, it goes in the back of the net. That's like right in my range.
Right.
Yeah. So I was thinking about this the other day, and last season we do at the end of the season poll of the goals of the season,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just thinking about like there really hasn't been too many incredible goals this season. We scored some nice goals this season, but maybe nothing like extraordinary. So obviously this one I think meets the bar as far as being added on that list. But is there any other goals that jump out to you that are like goal of the season kind of goals?
Mm, the one that stands out to me, not this season, could
Yeah,
be any season.
no, this season,
Oh,
first
this
half of the
season.
season. So I got Stevens's side volley. That's
Yeah,
one.
that was really good. Let's see, Macy Bell, like
There
that
you
goal.
go. There you go.
Yeah, that was a good goal. I was like,
Okay.
that was really good.
Rosa scored some bangers too from the outside the box that I like my outside the box goals. So I think she's probably on there as well. Yeah, those are the ones that really jump out to me. Maybe
Yeah,
one happened early in the season and what is time anymore? I don't know.
the Ryan goal was really good too because she was outside the box as well.
That is true. That is
Yeah.
one. Okay. All right. We got some for the list, which is good. And there's some match notes that were in the Gotham FC email that went out. And it says Gotham FC took 8 shots, 7 on goal in the first half, which is a tie for the club's record for a half, which is pretty good. And then Gotham FC shuts out its opponent in the first half for the league's best 12th time in 16 games. That's pretty darn impressive. And then the club is 17-0-3 in its last 20 games when leading at halftime.
That's great.
So they don't make it easy on us, but they do finish games.
Right.
Then this second half, I mean, Angel City is totally desperate and just throwing everything forward and going at Gotham, and Gotham's just holding their own for the most part. And then all right, so Giselle Thompson is coming in from the left wing at Freeman, and Freeman slides to block across, but Giselle pulls the ball back across her body, plants her as she's pulling her one leg across her body. She's sliding with the other foot, slides into Mandy's path, and then Mandy clips her because she's in Mandy's path at this point. Gets called a penalty. What are your thoughts?
It's very unfortunate. At first, like when you first look at that play, it didn't look like a penalty to me. I think it was really great defending from Freeman. But then when they were like, when Giselle was down and they had to stop the game because of Stevens as well, then they decided to start checking. But I think if Giselle would have gone up, I don't think it would have been called. But after seeing the replay several times, it was just very unfortunate that Mandy's foot landed on Giselle's foot. I don't think it was intentional. It was, I mean, when you're going that fast after the ball, and she thought the ball was going to cross, but it didn't. The ball stayed back. So what's your instinct? Your instinct is just to like stretch your leg out to block that ball. And unfortunately, she fouled Giselle.
It's like sometimes with the handball penalties as well. You're questioning like what are defenders allowed to do? She's sliding a foot in front of the player, not at the player. She's sliding away from the player. The player slides on her own into Mandy's path. What is she supposed to do? when she's already committed to that slide ahead of the player. Like, I don't get it. I'm saying it's like 30%. It's a penalty, but obviously VAR overruled me on that one, and it's a penalty, and which is a bummer because I wanted the shutout for Berger, but
Yeah.
is what it is. But Gotham holds on and gets the clean sweep of Angel City. Any thoughts on players? Anything?
Well, I just want to give my overall thought on this. I think the team did great getting 2 goals in the first half, but after that penalty, it just felt like they were falling apart. Like the cookie was crumbling on Gotham after that penalty. I feel like they panicked a little in there in the second half after the penalty, after the goal. Angel City had a couple of chances there. They didn't get any goals, thank God. Another weird pass from Berger where she tried to like clear the ball, but it landed on an Angel City player, and I was like, she needs to kick those balls harder or kick them out because that's
Mm-hmm.
dangerous. But I mean, overall, good because they got the win. But I think they need to work on like after they get a goal on them, they need to work on like staying calm and just playing their game. I feel like they're off their game at like if when the opponent like scores on them.
Yeah, they got to carry that same kind of energy from the first half into the second half. That first
Mhm.
like 15, 20 minutes of the second half has been really slow for Gotham. They've been coming out pretty slow because they're ahead. They're comfortably ahead. They get it. And they know that they can probably close out the game, but the other teams are desperate. They're going to start fighting for points, so they're going to throw everything at them. So they have to be a little bit better coming out of the second half. But other than that, the momentum shifts after the penalty. What are you going to do? I
Mhm.
think once the subs came on, I think it was pretty much Gotham's game at that point. And I just want to shout out Williams, Stangl, Zerboni. I think they were just excellent at killing this game off. I think Williams ripping the post was just a warning shot of how of how
Yeah.
dangerous she is from any spot. And I think Stangl was holding the ball up and taking on players like she usually does. And Zerboni is just good at like just pressuring the other team's back line, just getting them off their game and finding the routes that they want to pass in and just jumping in those lanes early. And she was making good passes out of danger. I thought Zerboni was excellent. So it was good job for the whole team, but those three in particular shut that game down.
Yeah, I'm so happy Cerboni's back and hopefully she gets to play a little more. She's also really good at like getting those loose balls when like there's no player, Cerboni is there to get that ball.
Yeah, yeah. That another one where like Lynn rips that post and it's like you heard that throughout the entire stadium. She hit that hard, but
Man, just a little to the other side.
but you're welcome, Gotham national team. I'm just gonna say Rose is playing some of her best soccer of her career right now. She has tied her season high of 5 goals already, and she
Mhm.
scored 4 in the past 5 games or something crazy like that. So she's killing it right now, and she looks unstoppable and heading right into the Olympics. Again, you're welcome.
Yeah, she's playing amazing. And yeah, she's definitely going to score more goals. So yeah, I expect her to get her record here at Gotham. Most goals in the NWSL for her.
No doubt. Any stats of the game?
Yes. So in this game, Gotham had 4 chances that they created. They missed 2, but they also scored 2. So 50-50 there.
Yeah, as we're going along, creating more chances, putting them away more. So we just got to get that third goal. I don't know what I don't know what it's going to take to get that third goal, but I
Right? We're
don't know.
stuck at 2 right now. I mean, at least it's 2 and not 1.
Yeah, we're scoring 2 goals a game. What are you going to do? And with a defense like us, it's good enough sometimes. And Sonnet, I think, was a model of efficiency of this game. 98% passing completion, which is insane. She had the most passes on Gotham's side and completed, again, 98% of them. She only lost, I think, 3 possessions. So which means if she had the ball at her feet, Gotham continued to hold the ball, which was awesome. And also, there is an outlier, which I think is kind of interesting. So, most players will have like, say, 8 to 10 ground duels per match that they're going to get themselves into, especially if you're midfielders like Neely Martin or you're going to be Sheehan. Sheehan 8 to 10 around there is about good. Ryan had over 20,
Oh,
which I don't know. I had to go back and watch the game just to see like what she was actually doing. Like she was just fighting players. It seemed like every time she had the ball.
I think she's just trying to make up for that red card. She probably feels terrible about it.
Yeah, it's craziness. So let's get to the fan focus. We talked earlier about how much the fans mean to us and this podcast. We love to amplify your voices. So we did a poll. Well, first, Jenna Tinelli is on vacation. And if you follow us on Twitter, we do a post game stat thread over there. And I try to highlight, the positives about the games through stats and try to tell a story through stats. And Jenna helps us out. This goes a long way back, and I'm not going to get into like why this is the thing, but Jenna always gives us her game day dominance scale, which goes from 1 to 5 candy corns. So she's on vacation in Italy. Good for her. I'm not jealous at all. And
Italia.
yeah, totally not jealous. And so I put the candy corn poll to the fans for the first time ever. And 53% said this is a 4 candy corn dominance.
All right. I
Yes. And
agree.
this poll is an undebatable poll, so we're just going to move on. So if you want to know more about it, follow us on Twitter. You'll see us there. And hero of the match, it was Stevens at 49%, Lavelle at 35%, Sheehan at 13%, and Martin at number 2 at 2%. Do you agree?
Yes and no. Like, yes, Stevens, that was amazing, but I also have to give it to Sheehan. This is her first goal this season. So, yes, I think I'm going to give it to both of them because it was a great goal, a great celebration.
Yeah, I disagree. It's Sheehan to me. I think she was amazing. She was everywhere on the pitch. She created the goal. She was in both goals. She got the high recovery on the other goal. She scored the one goal. She was amazing this game, and she doesn't get enough love, obviously, with 13%. So it is Sheehan for me. Go into the break disagreeing with the fans. All right, so let's jump into some standings. Orlando and KC had their big matchup, and you and I got it right. We said Orlando was going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Did Noella pick KC? I don't
Yeah,
remember. She
she
did.
did.
Okay. That's why she's not in this week's episode.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Losers don't get to be on this episode. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Orlando won. Good on
Yeah.
Marta. Good on them.
And
They
it
deserve
looks like they just created a new rivalry here between Orlando and KC. I don't know if you guys saw how Orlando was celebrating. They were just so hyped after the game, celebrating the win. Martha going like nuts over there, doing like I don't know. She was trying to be quiet. I don't know what she was doing. She was just celebrating like crazy. So now Casey took that personal, and they were like, "Oh, just wait till next game." So I'm ready.
I love the KC fans. I love the KC Blue Crew, that, whatever. But like Marta, Marta has been through it.
With
Let
Orlando, she really has.
let her have her moment, right? She can do pretty much whatever she wants. Celebrating like that after a game, because she deserves all of that, and it was a long season, and she's finally reaping the rewards of all her hard work. Let her have it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, she's been through ups and downs with that club. We know Orlando hasn't been the best.
Mm-hmm.
This year, they're just surprising us
Yeah,
game after game.
we still got them we still got them twice coming up, so
Yes,
can't wait.
Gotham hasn't played Orlando, so we still have a chance to be another team to beat Orlando.
Indeed. And we got KC one more time. I'm excited about that as well. Now, Washington did well as well this weekend. And then we got us at number 4. Portland is moved up to number 5. And then it's the Courage, it's the Red Stars, and Bay FC has climbed over the line, which is very impressive. No, I can't remember the last time I thought about Bay FC. And
Right.
now they're up the line at a -9 goal differential, which is a rarity. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, I think it's just Louisville is going through a rough patch right now.
Yeah, indeed. So, well, first, let's do some notes. Orlando now has more points than last season's Shield winner. And also, just for the record, last year's Golden Boot winner had 11 goals, and now we got 2 players at 12 goals. So this season has been off the chain.
Yeah, I don't think Gotham's going to get there. We're only scoring like 1 or 2 goals a game, so.
Yeah, not a chance. Yeah. However, our next opponent is the Chicago Red Stars. This is the NWSL Liga MX Femenil Summer Cup, Saturday, July 20th at 6 p.m. on CBS Sports Network. It's going to be in Chicago. CBS Sports Network, boo. Then it will also be on NWSL Plus in the Spanish language, so yay.
Yay.
And then both teams will mission national team players. Chicago is above the line, but without Nair and Swanson, this is not a very dangerous team. Rookie Joseph is excellent. I mean, they did sign Canadian national teamer Julia Grasso, but she won't be at this one. So I like our chances here. What do you think, Ruby?
I'm excited for this new tournament. New tournament, yay. But the excitement goes down as I see we're going to play an NWSL team. Boo. But yeah, I mean it's really exciting to get this new tournament where we combine the Liga MX Femenil from Mexico and the NWSL. I think it's really good to grow the game to do that. I'm really interested to see what Juan Carlos is going to do. Who is he going to pick as their starting 11 for Gotham? We have a lot of talent on the bench, and I think some players need a little bit of rest.
Yeah, we got 2 weeks, 2 weeks to get it together. I think Miller is going to be in goal for us. I think Mandy Freeman has solidified her right side spot. On the left side, I think this place is the most interesting. I guess it's going to be either Torres or, hey, what do you know? Maybe Edmonds could return at some point this season and help us out at left back. I think Maitani and Hyatt will be our center backs, and we know our midfield. And the attack will be Stengel, Stevens, and Ryan. And let's see,
Yeah,
who else
Ryan.
will be? Yeah, Ryan. Yeah, as well. So I think we're going to be okay. This is still a darn good lineup. I think we'll be pretty good here. The Gotham national team has some send-off matches we got to talk about. USA versus Mexico on the 13th of July, 3:30 p.m. Then they also play at Audi Field on the 16th at 7:30 p.m. Are you attending any of these matches, Ruby?
I would like to go to the Saturday match, but still not sure if I'm gonna go. Hopefully I get to go. It will be a great match. It will be at Red Bull, so we all know Red Bull. It's a nice place to go watch, especially go watch USA against Mexico. Because last time these two teams played, we know that the USA lost. So now we have Emma Hayes, as a new coach for the US women's national team, and they're gonna play Mexico. So there's like high expectations right there, and they need to win.
Yeah, jump out on the right foot. I think you're going to do well. And obviously, Red Bull Arena is an amazing place to watch soccer. It's going to be loud and raucous for the send-off game. It's going to be fun. I won't be there. I'll be working, but boo. But hopefully you get to go. Now, the
Yay.
Olympics schedule. It is July 25th is the start of the Olympics. That is United States versus Zambia at 3 p.m. Then on Sunday, July 28th, the same day we have a game. And it is United States versus Germany at 3 p.m. And then they follow up to finish the group stage on July 31st against Australia. That's going to be an awesome game. I can't wait for that one. But so how can you watch these Summer Olympics? It's going to be on Peacock for the Spanish language service. Yep, so find it there. All right, so what are we manifesting this week?
Well, I just want to manifest for more players off that injury list. I know you've been manifesting this, but maybe if we join forces, something will happen.
Yeah, I agree. Let's do it. I also do want to wish all the players that are not on the Olympic squad, I just want them to have a great vacation. The pictures that they've been putting up have been amazing so far.
Oh my God, yes, they deserve all the the rest they're getting. They're out traveling. I love to see it.
All right, fans. So we love hearing your thoughts, and what better way to show it than by rating us 5-star review on either Spotify or iTunes. I mean, your reviews help us out and help other listeners find us. And I love building this community. Let's keep building it, shall we? And yeah, so again, find us on Twitter at Over Gotham Pod and Instagram at Soccer Over Gotham. Let's win one of these Goal of the Week polls. Ruby, this has been a really fun episode. Any random thoughts before we go?
No, I'm gonna go to yoga after recording this. So I'm gonna leave my house like in 20 minutes. Yeah, so that's my random thought.
Okay. This is Shark Week. It is
Ooh.
Shark Week. There is a book called Close to Shore. It is about the 1916 shark attacks by Atlantic City.
Hmm.
And it's a really, really in-depth historical look at the shark attacks that happened there.
Yeah.
And they're not sure because maybe they didn't have the technology at the time, but they're not sure if it was one shark or more than one. But it
Hmm.
was definitely a great white shark that was attacking people near the shore, and one of them got into the fresh water and
Yeah.
attacked somebody like in a freshwater stream.
No way.
So that's pretty
This sounds
crazy.
like a Jaws movie.
Yeah, that's kind of where it came from. So that's so yes, it's a good book. It's called Close to Shore. Go find it. It's a good read
Yeah.
for the summer. It's
Oh, that's
interesting.
crazy. Yeah, I'll be so scared. Actually, I think I was on TikTok. I was watching some videos and there in Florida, there was like 3 or 4 attacks in the same day by the same shark.
Yeah,
So maybe this shark and the other shark are related.
I mean, this was 1916. It's possible. Sharks live a long time,
Great,
but
great, 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 great grandson of this.
we'll see. But all right, so we don't. I don't know when we're going to be back. We're going to be probably. We're not going to do anything for the send off games. So I'm not really interested in that. Probably be back right after the 20th
Okay.
for the game for that. So hopefully we'll have the super team together to cover both the national team, Gotham national team, and the Liga MX Femenil Summer Cup. Should be fun. So look forward to it. So enjoy the break, everybody, and see you guys soon.
Let's go.